Hello everybody, it's Zach, finally back with another video. I first off, just up front, wanted to apologize for my very long absence over the past few months. I have been very busy with college and some other projects, so unfortunately I did not get a lot of time to make videos for you guys. However, that is hopefully going to pick up again here in the next few weeks because I am going on vacation pretty soon, so I will have a lot more time to devote to this channel, which is pretty exciting. I have a lot of big plans. And this video, part of this video is going to be talking about those, but also, since I was away for so long, a lot of people have been commenting and asking questions, and I want to answer one of those today. A few people were asking about the quick sampler in Logic and how that can be used with VoiceOver. So I'm going to cover that in just a little bit. But first, I want to bring something to everyone's attention here. So we are currently on Logic 10.7.1. This is the latest version that was released a few days ago. Now, people that are familiar with my channel will know that I did a video when Logic 10.5 came out, and I think I did one on 10.6 as well, actually. When those updates came out, and I did not do one for 10.7. And the reason I did not pursue a video with 10.7 was because there really wasn't anything, especially for VoiceOver users. There was just nothing there. There were a few updates pertaining to things like Dolby Atmos and spatial audio, where you're able to mix in like surround sound for headphones. It's used with Apple Music and probably some other services too. But I do not know enough about that to make a video on it just yet. I do not have really like the proper training to mix in Dolby Atmos. I did experiment with it a little bit and it is accessible, but I am just not qualified to really discuss that as of right now. So that is not something I'm going to be able to share with you until I learn more about it. But what really disappointed me when 10.7 came out was the fact that there was absolutely, I think almost zero mention of accessibility apart from like maybe one thing that was fixed. And I will come out right now and say that Logic is pretty accessible still. You can do most of the things that you would need to do. However, there are a few glaring omissions. One big one is flex time and flex pitch, which allow you to change audio. If you need to, say, correct a vocalist who is singing out of tune, you can change the pitch of that vocalist to make them sing in tune. It's kind of like auto-tune, but you have a much more manual control. For people that are familiar with, say, something like Melodyne, it's exactly the same premise. And Melodyne, just for the record, is also not accessible as of yet. However, I figured by this point Apple would have come up with a solution to accessing flex pitch and flex time, considering that from what I understand, the interface is very similar to something like what you would do in the piano roll when you're editing MIDI, and that has been accessible for a few years now. And we still don't have anything to fix this problem. So that's one thing. The other big thing are plugins. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, well, you have controls view. You can use, well, yes, that does work for most plugins. However, for things like instruments, like Alchemy, for example, that is not a solution because Alchemy is a very deep, very powerful synthesis environment that you can do a lot of things in, and we just don't have access to that. We can load presets and that's about it. We can do a few little things in the controls view, tweak some parameters that were pre-assigned, but making sounds from scratch without doing some workarounds, and even with those workarounds, it's not very usable. So all this to say that Logic, I think, is still a good piece of software. I'm not going to give up using it. I have no plans on discontinuing coverage of Logic for this channel because I know that a lot of people are using it. However, I've been doing some research over the past few weeks into some other DAWs. And one DAW that's really, and DAW is Digital Audio Workstation for people that are not aware. And one DAW that I have been looking at over the past few weeks, along with a few friends of mine from college, is Reaper. Now, a lot of people will probably already be familiar with Reaper because Reaper is a very popular DAW amongst the blindness community. And with good reason. It's very accessible. There is a huge community, very dedicated, and it's cheap. It's only $60 for a personal license. And that gives you updates for quite a while, for, I don't know, 5-6 years. And I've been looking into this because Logic has just kind of been stagnant for quite a while. So over the next few months, I am thinking of potentially slowly introducing some tutorials on Reaper alongside the Logic tutorials, because I'm not going to give up on Logic just because Reaper has come along. Because I hope that in the near future, Logic will fix a lot of these issues. But as of right now, because Logic has kind of been at a standstill for about a year, I'm thinking of using Reaper as maybe not my primary DAW, but a lot more heavily than I do Logic. But all that to say, I'm not giving up on Logic. I will continue to make videos for you guys with Logic, but I'm just letting you know that I am planning on starting a series kind of simultaneously with Reaper as well, in case people are interested. So now, on to the meat of this video. I am going to show you guys how to use the quick sampler with Logic and with a plugin called VOCR. Now, VOCR, essentially what it does is it takes pictures of the screen, and then it will convert any images it finds into text. And what you can do then is you can move the mouse to different portions of that text and click on things. So this helps with certain plugins that aren't really accessible yet. And we'll actually get to that at the end of this video because I have another announcement regarding that. However, right now we will continue with this. So VOCR is great because it allows you to access a few features that Apple didn't make accessible yet, like the quick sampler. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go and install VOCR from scratch because the installation process is a little involved. So we're going to do that together. And then we're going to make a quick track using quick sampler and some samples that I've already got prepared. And we'll see how that goes. All right. So I'm on my laptop today because it's just the closest thing to hand, and it does not have VOCR on it already. So this is a good way to demo the installation process. So let's do it. I have Logic open, and I'm going to keep it open for this, but you don't have to. I'm going to go over to my Finder.
Actions available.
All right, I'm going to go to my Applications folder.
Applications.
And I'm going to go into Safari.
Safari, open.
All right.
Safari.
Okay. Going to go to Google.
Google.
I'm going to type VOCR. All caps.
V space.
And I'm just going to type GitHub at the end.
VOCR.
Actually, you know what? I don't need to do that.
Space.
Let's delete that space and hit return.
VOCR.
All right.
Selected.
Here we go.
VOCR.
Let's try this up a little bit as well. Cool. So now I'm going to go to my headings.
Heading chikim/VOCR. GitHub HTTP.
That's what we want. It's the first one.
GitHub link.
Cool.
GitHub.
All right. Now we're on a website called GitHub. And GitHub, for people that don't know, is a website that developers use to distribute free software and its code so that you can modify it, which is pretty cool. And this guy named Chi Kim, who also works at Berkeley, he's one of my professors, developed this piece of software and put it on GitHub. So we're going to go download it. I'm going to go by heading until I find the download heading.
Heading level 2. Gives heading level 2 link. Heading level 1. Welcome. Heading level 2. Download.
Here it is.
Here is the direct link to download. Link. VOCR v1.0.0-beta.2.
All right. Here's a beta. This is a beta piece of software, so keep that in mind. I'm going to hit VO space on this.
Download has started.
It's done. Fast, right? Cool. So we're now going to go and install it. I'm going to keep this page open because there are some steps that we're going to need to follow.
Finder, application.
All right. Now, before we do anything, I'm going to go into the VoiceOver utility, And again, that's Control, Option, Function if you're on a laptop keyboard or if you have your F keys set differently, and F8.
Opening VoiceOver utility. VoiceOver.
All right, cool. Gonna go to the right.
Speak the following greeting after login. Display welcome dialog when VoiceOver starts. Keys to use as portable setup. Portable allow VoiceOver to be controlled with AppleScript. Unchecked checkbox.
That's what we want. Allow VoiceOver to be controlled with AppleScript. I'm gonna check this box.
Help button.
Done. Cool. Perfect. Now,
Help button.
Command Q.
Finder.
Get out of there. Okay. Gonna go to my downloads folder.
Downloads list.
Gonna go in here.
VOCR.v1.0.0-beta.2.zip.
All right, we're gonna unzip this.
Open. Archive utility. Finder.
All right.
VOCR application.
Copy this.
Copy.
Put it in my applications folder.
Applications. Paste item.
There. Oh, I'm on Big Sur, by the way, so the sounds are a little different. Cool. Gonna hit V for that.
Virtual extend keyboard.
Go down.
Voice memos application.
Where are you?
Text system. Voice VOC.
Here it is. All right. Command O.
Open. Set application open.
We're gonna open it.
Finder. Applications window.
All right. Cool. Now it's open. Now, the next thing we need to do is make sure that for VoiceOver, the VoiceOver visuals and the caption panel are hidden. And to do that, you press Control, Option, Command, and the F8 key, and F10.
Hide caption window.
And F11.
Hide VoiceOver visuals.
There you go. Perfect. Now both of them are hidden. Cool. And if you hit them again,
show caption window. Show VoiceOver visuals.
They will show up again, but we're gonna hide them.
Hide caption window. Hide VoiceOver visuals.
Cool. Now, to get started with this, we're gonna press Control, Command, Shift, I think it's just Control, Command, and W. No, it is Shift. There we go. Cool.
Icon view.
Now we've got a dialog that's coming up, and we have to navigate to it. So to do that, I'm going to use the window chooser in VoiceOver. And the window chooser just lets you see all of the windows that are open, and you can go to them. To do that, I'm going to hold down Control, Option, Function, and press F2 twice quickly.
Window chooser menu 4 items. Applications. Go to desktop system dialog. Window from screen capture view.
Okay, we have 2 system dialogs that we need to take care of.
System dialog. Accessibility access.
We're going to take care of this one first.
System dialog.
I'm going to press Return.
Accessibility.
And
did not open system preferences.
I'm going to open my system preferences.
Finder. Applications. Window. Icon view. Collection 1 item selected. System preferences.
Okay, now I'm going to go over.
Help button. Click the lock to make changes.
Press that.
Help button in dialog.
Typing in my password.
Help button.
All right, we're going to go to the left.
Click add table.
And in this table,
VOCR, uncheck.
We want to check VOCR.
Virtual VOCR, checkbox.
Cool, I just checked it.
Out of.
Now I'm going to press Command Q to get out of here.
Finder, application.
And let me make sure that VOCR is still in the menu bar. To do that, I hold Control, Option, and press M twice quickly.
Menu extra.
I just go to the left.
Stopper, VOCR.
Cool, it's there. I'm going to press Escape now.
Finder.
I'm going to go back to the window chooser.
Window.
And attend to that other dialog.
Go system dialog. Record button. Options. Records.
Whoops. Actually, hold on.
Window. Go system dialog. Window from.
Oh,
system.
I'm sorry. Nope. That was not actually due to VOCR. That was because I am doing a screen recording.
Records.
So we're going to just ignore that.
Safari. QuickTime. Logic. Finder.
I'm going to go back here. Now, we're going to press that same hotkey again for VOCR. So it actually is Control, Command, Shift, and W.
Screen recording system.
Okay, we now need to grant this permission.
Icon view collect.
So we're going to go back to the window chooser again.
Window. Go to system dialog. Window system dialog.
Here it is.
Screen denied. Open system.
Go back into system preferences.
Applications. Window. Icon view. Collection 1 item selected. System.
And I know this seems involved, but you only have to do this once.
Help and click. Help in dialog.
You can type my password in.
Help.
Cool. Go back to the left.
And click add take VOCR.
Grant this.
Uncheck checkbox. Row in dialog. Let quit.
It wants to quit and relaunch the app. We're going to do that.
Let quit in your table.
All right. Cool. Good. We're going to press Command Q again.
Finder.
We're going to go do that same hotkey again. Give it a second. All right. I'm going to actually restart VoiceOver because it looks like that did not work.
VoiceOver
so I'm going to restart VoiceOver again.
VoiceOver on Finder.
All right, I'll try it again. All right, let's see. I'm gonna now try and press Control Command and the down and up arrows to see if I can navigate around. And I cannot. Okay. What we'll do, I'm gonna go back into the VoiceOver utility.
Opening VoiceOver utility. VoiceOver.
And I'm gonna recheck that box about the Apple script.
Help. Allow. Allow. Application.
There's some bugs with this. I'm gonna type my password in. Oops. There we go.
Did check.
Okay, cool.
Help. Allow VoiceOver to be controlled with Apple script. Check. Check.
Cool. It's checked now. I think it may have just not been checked before. So
Finder.
I'm gonna press Control Command Shift W again.
Finished.
There we go. Perfect. Now we're in business. So there are a few more permissions we need to grant. So I'm going to press Control Command down and up arrow.
Less than favorite F.
I'm going to do that a few times.
Bullet. ATV 40 locations. iCloud Drive system.
We're going to try and click on something. We're going to try and click on
Text edit.
Text edit.
T.
Okay. I'm going to press the mouse click command, which is Control Option Shift space 2 times to open it.
Text edit application. Text edit.
Okay, cool. That worked. Okay. So actually, we might be good. If there are any other permissions, we'll come to those in a little bit. So now we're going to go into Logic, and I'm going to show you how to use the quick sampler with VOCR, and we'll make a track. Cool? So I'm going to get out of text edit now because we don't need it. I'm going to go into Logic.
Safari QuickTime.
And let's close Safari as well. All right.
Logic Pro.
Back in Logic. Okay, cool. So we're going to make a new track.
Track.
I'm going to press Command Option N.
In dialog.
Here we go.
Choose a
I'm going to go to the right until I find
collapsed.
the details area and expand that.
One.
I'm going to go to the left now because it's going to go to the left.
Help, but details group.
There we go.
Indeed, default patch pop-up button.
All right, we're going to go in here.
Menu check out.
I'm going to go down to Quick Sampler.
Quick Sampler.
There it is.
Stereo.
And let's do stereo.
Stereo.
Hit return, and I'm going to hit return again to load it.
Control.
All right, cool. We have our musical typing keyboard open, and we just have a sine wave right now. Cool. I'm going to hide the musical keyboard for now with Command K. And I'm going to hide the library as well with Y.
Hide lock out.
Cool.
Track.
I'm going to go to the left. I'm going to go into the inspector.
Mix,
I'm going to go down, and I'm going to go over to the quick sampler. I'm going to press the open button. And I want to make sure that this is not in controls view. This needs to be in the editor view. So I'm going to go to the right. And I'm going to go in here and change it to editor.
View.
Okay.
Collapsed.
Cool. So there are already there's some options that you can look at. If I were to open this
expanded table
and go to the right, there's a few little options you can choose, but this has nothing to do with actually playing a sample. That's what we're interested in. So I'm gonna hit VO space to collapse this again.
Collapsed.
I'm also gonna go up to the top.
Toolbar button.
And I'm gonna press this I'm gonna press this toolbar thing to hide it. We don't want the toolbar to be shown, because it will make sure that VOCR can see everything on the screen. Okay, now I'm gonna press Control, Command, Shift, and W, and that's going to take a picture of what's going on the screen.
Finished.
All right, cool. So now I'm gonna press Control, Command, down and up until I find something that says something to the effect of like drag an audio file here.
Into classic one-shot slice recorder. No audio file loaded. Snap. Offset.
There it is. Gonna go to the right now with Control Command right arrow.
One-shot slice recorder.
Now you're seeing you're actually going through all these different modes at the top. These are like tabs.
No audio file loaded.
That's what we want. I'm gonna press Control Option Shift Space.
No audio file loaded. Menu.
Hey, check it out. We got a menu now. If I go down,
checkmark, no audio, show in Finder, dim, rename current file, remove current file, clear history, load audio file ellipsis.
We've got some options here.
Checkmark, no audio file.
So we can actually load a file right now. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go up.
Load audio file ellipsis.
And I'm going to press return.
Logic Pro is list view table.
Okay, now we're in a list view here.
Reaper media folder.
If I go down, I'm in my documents folder. Now I don't want to be in here, but if I wanted to load a file from here, I could. What I want though is to press Command Option L.
List view table.
And that's going into my downloads folder. I'm going to go down.
Hardcore band lab folder.
I have some samples in here that I think will work. So I'm going to press right arrow and go down this list.
Experimental cuts and lab.
Oops. Actually, no. It turns out you have to press Command O.
List view.
All right. There we go.
O1 drum looping application.
Now,
Okay.
it wants to access to this folder, so I'm going to press OK.
Logic Pro.
There we go.
Optimize toolbar button.
And I actually took us out of there, I think.
Inst2 collapsed.
Okay, so it actually took us out of that window after I hit OK. So I'm going to press, use that same window chooser again.
Window chooser menu 3 up. Inst2 untitled system dialog. Window from.
And I'm going to try and find that
Untitled tracks.
again if I can.
Inst2 factory.
Let's see.
Inst2.
Where is it?
Application logic QuickTime.
It actually looks like it crashed.
System dialogs menu. Window from.
Yeah.
Screen cap.
It crashed. So we actually have to do this again. So same deal. Same capturing the screen will go down.
Inst2 alert system dialog.
Oh.
VOCR wants access to control VoiceOver. Okay.
Oh, this is the other permission I was telling you about. So we're going to just grant that.
Logic Pro.
There we go. Same deal. One more time.
Finished.
There we go.
Load root key load record or track classic one shot.
Okay, so we're going to go back to that.
No
audio file loaded.
Menu.
Go in here.
Remove clear it. Load audio.
Go back here.
Logic Pro it open forward back open option original optimize list view take
Okay,
media.
we're good now. So we're going to go back to that
List view and more.
downloads folder. We're going to go in here.
List view.
And I'm going to find a file.
O1.
So let's see. Let's get and if you want to play it, you can hit space and that will play the file for you. So this is like a clap thing. Let's get let's see what we can do here. Let's play kind of fun. Let's do
O1 song.
Let's do
O1 song starter loop.
this song starter loop. I'm gonna press return. Give it a moment, and
Busy.
there we go.
Collapse.
Okay, it's loaded. We can play it on the keyboard. If I press Command K now,
Musical
and I hit a key, there it is. If I hit another key, it plays slower. There we go. So the file's loaded. Awesome. Now what can we do with it? Well, that's a great question. I'm gonna press Command K, hide this, and I'm gonna do that same VOCR again.
Finished.
Okay. I'm thinking for this, I want it to be sliced across the keys. So what will we do? We're going to go down.
Classic one shot. 4 classic one shot slice.
Change that to slice.
One shot. Slice.
Click on it. And if I go back to the keyboard and I go down. So now I just went down an octave and it basically has sliced all of these into separate keys. So I can actually play this like a synth, kind of. Make your own rhythm with it. There are options to control how you want this to be sliced. So if I go back and re-OCR on the screen again,
Finished.
and I go down,
C1, E1, F1, A1, B1, D2, F2, H.
these are all of the keys actually that you have.
C1.
If I
C.
click on one, let's see what happens. What does it do? Does it do anything?
Finished.
When you click on something, you have to OCR the screen again every time so that it can take a new picture,
Mode.
which does make it kind of tedious. So that doesn't seem to actually do anything. I'm assuming if you wanted, you can move these slices around.
Mode. Transient sensitivity. 100 start key. C1 chromatic set gate play to end.
Okay, this stuff is useful.
100 mode. Transient sensitivity. M.
Now, if I go to mode, and oh, by the way, to get to those letters, to actually go to the specific option you want, you hold down the shift key with control and command.
O, D, E. Mode.
So let's change this. If I click on it, what happens? Anything?
O, D, E, colon.
Nothing happens.
Space.
Okay.
T.
I'm assuming this transient thing is actually what you want to click on.
No, transient.
Yes, I was correct. So the thing that you need to remember when using VOCR is you are essentially using this the same way a sighted person would. So what's happening here is I'm seeing everything kind of presented in rows and columns, and whatever happens in terms of like where things are placed, I need to be sure of where I'm clicking with the virtual mouse in order to actually activate something. So I'm in this menu now and I can choose how I want this to be sliced up.
Beat divisions. Checkmark. Transient.
You have
plus note.
transients,
Beat divisions.
beat divisions,
Equal divisions.
equal divisions,
Manual.
or manually.
Checkmark. Transient plus note.
So I'm going to actually, let's see, what can we do? I'm going to leave this the way it is because I actually like how this sliced it up, but if we wanted to change it, we could. I could go down and say,
Beat divisions.
let's just experiment. I'm going to do beat divisions.
Collapsed.
And if I OCR the screen again, we have more options now. If I go down.
Finished. Mode. B division. 1/8 start key. C1 chromatic.
So
Division.
I'm telling it
1/8.
what divisions do I want? Eighth notes, quarter notes, 16th notes. So I'm going to leave it at eighth notes.
Start key. Chromatic.
You can change the key. So do you want it to be chromatic? Do you want it to be all white notes? And actually, I'm going to have it be all white notes so that it's easier for me to play. So I'm going to go to chromatic if I can.
Gate play to chromatic. C.
Maybe this won't work. Let's see if I'll OCR the screen again.
Finished. Mode. Mode. 1 start chromatic. Start key. C. Chromatic.
There we go.
White. Black. Check mark.
You can say, do I want it on all the white keys? Do I want it on the black keys?
White.
I'm going to do all the white keys.
Collapsed.
Cool. Now, if I go back into my musical typing and I go to start here. Now, you see everything's kind of really sort because it's all sliced up into eighth notes. So that's not really great. What I want is transients. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to change that back.
Finished. C1 F2 A3 mode. B division. Mode. Beat. B. B equal division. Transient plus note.
There.
Collapsed.
All right. Now we're back to normal. Cool. So now we've got everything kind of sliced up on the keyboard. So let's actually make something with this. So I'm going to close out of this window.
Click. Untype.
Okay.
Out of inspect.
I'm now going to go into my musical typing, and let me make sure the metronome is on.
Metronome on.
Cool.
1 bar.
And let's just play a little pattern. Let's do something kind of fun. All right. That wasn't too great, but it's all right. It will suffice for this. I'm going to go and quantize that. And again, to do that, you would go into the inspector.
No visible
And
title.
let's expand
Inspect and collect.
this triangle here. Let's go here.
Uncheck. Off. Pop.
And
1/8 notes.
let's do eighth notes. Let's see how that sounds. Actually, no, let's do
1/16.
16ths. And I'll add some swing
6.
to kind of have it be a little funky. Let's loop it.
Loop on.
Let's actually go into the MIDI editor and change those last two notes.
Hide edit. Piano roll. Piano inspector group. Piano roll keyboard. Scroll in C2.
Whoops.
Out piano.
Right.
Note.
That's the really cool thing. You can actually go in here and change stuff after the fact. So I'm just trying to find a different chord. There we go.
What?
Now we have sort of a cool chord progression. Nice. So cool. We got something kind of funky going on. So let's do another one. Let's make a new quick sampler.
In dial.
And I'm going to do the exact same thing.
Track.
Go in here.
Inspect. MIDI on. View. Open.
Go in here. Change it to view or editor. And same deal. We'll find a different loop this time. Let's get some drums or something.
Effect. Compare. Copy. Classic.
Oh, whoops. Let me hide the toolbar and I'll do that again. There we go.
Finished. Classic. Load. Classic. One shot. No snap. No audio. No audio.
There we go.
Rename current. Remove. Clear history. Load audio.
Load a file.
Load audio.
And I'm in that same folder.
Open. Option. Optima. List view.
So I'm going to go down. Let's find a guitar or a drums or something. Let's do like a...
Quick look window. Quick look.
Let's see. Actually, let's go to a different pack.
Window. List view. Edward Court. Experiment. Punk dash.
Let's do this one. This one has some drums.
List view.
Go down. Oh, all of these packs, by the way, that I'm using, they don't come with Logic. These are from a free website called bandlab.com, which has a ton of sample packs. It's actually very similar to the website Splice that I did a video on quite a while back, except it's completely free. And there's a lot of sample packs and more are being added every single week. If people are interested, actually, you know what? I might just do a video on it anyway, because it's a good resource for people to have. especially if you're just starting out and you need some high quality samples, they are really good. And I don't really see a lot of people talking about it. So I'm gonna try and find like a drum beat, if I can. The problem with these is they're not organized in any way. It's just like a big list of files, so you have to kind of find stuff yourself, which is fine. There's some guitars. Oh, here's some drums, but these are... Actually, you know what? These will work fine. These are one-shots.
Experimental cuts, kick 70 BPM.
Here's a kick.
-70 BPM dash band loud dot double.
This is a kick, okay. Actually, I think this is a loop. Let's see. No, actually, it's just a one-shot, it seems. It says it's a 70 BPM, but it's all right. I'm going to press return and load it. And I don't need to do anything else because this is already in single mode.
Music.
So if I just play the keyboard, there we go. There we are. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change this mode to one shot because if I don't, and if I release the key, here, I'll show you. See, it stops. But this is a drum. This is a drum sample, so we want it to kind of ring on. So let me go back into the UI, and I'll use the same VOCR again. And all we need to do
184 one shot slides
change it to one shot. There we go. Now I can hit the key. There we go. Now it's just like some drums. It's like a drum kit. We'll add a snare and stuff in just a bit. So let's just make a quick kick pattern. And what I'll actually do, let's use the, no, actually I'll just play it in. It's very simple. Let's play it in.
Metronome. Oops. Menu, edit, undo, change channels.
Let's try that one more time.
One bar, music,
there you go.
One. 2 bars.
Just a simple pattern. Let's
table, track,
quantize that.
Dim, get off. 1/4.
Here we go.
1.
There we go. Now, what I'm actually going to do, let's be clever here and sidechain the synth part.
Track 2.
Turn that synth part down, by the way. And just delete this unused track.
Track 2.
Let's just turn this down a little bit because it's quite loud. There we go. All right. Let's go to
track 1.
That synth part. Let me also name this stuff while I'm at it.
Selection 8 synth 8 S track 2 K.
Cool.
Track 1 synth chords.
Gonna go here. I'm gonna add a compressor.
Mixer MIDI fuse and audio plugin distortion dynamics compressor dual stereo.
There we go.
Synth.
And I'm going to go in
next
and go to the sidechain pop-up menu here.
Menu input and
I'm going to
ins3
use the kick.
Sidechain.
Cool. I'm just going to now adjust some settings here on the compressor.
Table compressors.
I'm going to have my threshold down
-30 points. -40 points.
-40.
Ratio.
Leave the ratio alone.
Attack.
I'm going to have the attack be as fast as it can go.
Release. Gain.
Have the release be as fast as it can go. And very important, I'm going to change this peak/RMS tab to peak. And I'm going to go down a little more.
Auto gain. Out circuit. Stop. Limit. Auto release.
And
uncheck
that. And if I hit play now. There we go. I'm also going to turn auto gain off because now it's very loud.
Limiter. Circuit. Output. Auto gain. Output. Auto.
Now if we listen. There we go. Let's turn the ratio up a little more.
Ratio 6.
Really heavy pumping, right? And I'll turn the threshold
-50
down a little more too. Actually, no, I'll turn it up.
-30.
There we go. There, cool. Now we kind of have a pumping type of deal. Not really the best kick sound, but what's cool is we can change that out later. So we don't need to worry about that right now too much. We'll change it up for something better in a little bit. Let's now add let's add some guitar. And I'm just going to actually use a loop from the Logic loop library. So let me first off change the project key so that they sync up.
Site control 120.
Let's do
C major, F major, F music sharp 7 major.
Let's do E minor.
F major.
Right.
E music, E minor, E music.
All right.
Cool. E music.
Awesome.
Track.
Go to the loop library.
Loops.
I'm going to use one of the new packs that's in Logic 10.7.
All pack. Menu. Mark Letty.
That is one of the things they did. They added some new sounds.
200. Flip loops. Circle loop.
This is from a guy named Mark Lidieri, who's a guitarist.
Always
and I'm going to try and find
intro rhythm
a loop here that might
carried
work.
away intro chords. Carried away chorus rhythm.
Let's see.
Cool breeze bridge.
Cool, this will work. It's actually not in the right key, but I'm going to transpose it.
What?
So let's just paste it in, and I'm going to transpose it up.
Always tomorrow.
Whoops.
One.
Have to hide the loop browser first.
Track.
I'm going to transpose it up using Option up arrow. That will transpose audio. Option up arrow will do up. Option down arrow will do down. It works with MIDI just as well. You don't get any feedback when doing this, but now it should be in the right key. Cool. It's a little kind of wonky, but I think it'll work. Oh, yeah, that's fine for now. Cool. Let's get a snare going. So let me go back into Quick Sampler yet again. We'll find a snare. Let's go in here. Actually, I have a better idea for a good pack we can use. So we're going to hide that toolbar again. Oh, actually, first, again, don't forget you change it to the editor view. I know for some people, this will seem like kind of a headache. And the problem is, it is. Because Apple did not do their job and make this natively accessible. So we have to use these workarounds. Which is unfortunate, but this is just the way it has to be for right now until they figure it out. In case anyone was wondering, Reaper has their own sampler, and that is completely accessible. You can do sort of the same thing that I'm doing here. It doesn't have as many features, but a lot of that can be worked around. So
in classic one-shot slicer. No snap.
When I get into my Reaper tutorials, I'll do a similar demo with that.
Show and find. Rename.
And this helps because I'm using the same sounds,
Remove.
Which is nice.
Clear.
Let's go to another pack here. I'm going to go back to my downloads folder, and I'm going to search
list view.
For
Reaper slope pump-POB bang dash.
This guy. This one has some nice drums in it. That might be cool. Let me find some drums here.
Quick look window.
All right, this is some cool acoustic guitar, but that's not really what we want. Go down more. Okay, this one's some drums, but we need some one shots. We need a snare. Let's see. This is a lot of like guitar. This is a kick. We're gonna change these kicks out in a second. But I'm thinking we'll do a snare. There's a lot of guitars and stuff. Oh, here we go. Okay, cool. Let's use this one. This is pretty punchy. I'm going to press return on this. Loading it up. Alrighty. We're going to go back to our VOCR.
Finished.
I'm going to go down and change that thing to one shot again.
0.C3. Class one shot. Oh.
Alright.
Toolbar button.
Cool. Nice. That's a good sound. And again, because it's a one-shot sample, you can play it up and down the keyboard. If I want to change the pitch, I'm just playing down now. There you go. Change it up. But this is a nice... Could use it with some compression. Let's compress the sound a little bit to get it to be a bit more punchy. I'm going to go to my compressor.
Compressor.
Gonna go into it.
Stereo.
Let's open up musical typing again. Let me go into the compressor. Where are you? Here you are. All right. I'm going to do a very similar thing to what I was doing with the side chaining. So I'm going to the right. I'm finding
side limit auto release empty side chain
auto release. Let's turn that off.
Limit side output is auto gain peak /R peak selected out get really
and Whoops.
Release.
My musical typing just stopped working. Oh, did I mute? Let's see.
Gain. Release.
All right, we got some issues here.
Untitled.
Let's see.
Selection.
What's up here?
Out of inspector.
Let's see.
One.
So our audio's still working.
Metronome.
Here we go. There we go. All right, go back
Musical.
in.
Gain.
Okay, so it looks like actually you cannot use musical typing when you're in the compressor window anymore. This seems like it's a bug because you definitely were able to before. So what we'll do is we'll just dial in some settings.
Minus 20. Minus.
Hopefully they'll sound nice.
Out.
And we can go back and tweak
2.
whenever we need to.
2 out of slide. Attack.
Just have the attack be
5.
quite quick. Super quick or anything, but
10 point.
we'll do like maybe
15. 18 point.
Have the release be pretty quick.
11. 10 point. Game.
All right, I'm gonna change the
Output side limit auto release. Auto peak slash output distortion circuit type. Studio FET
to
compress.
this guy. This guy's good on drums.
Untype.
There we go. But now we need to turn it up because it's a bit quiet.
Toolbar.
So I'm gonna just drive the gain up.
Minus 10 point. Minus 5.
Oh, actually, it was really quiet. I'm not sure why it
0.0
reverted to being that quiet. There we go. There, that's a lot more like it. Nice.
1.
And you can hear the reverb going on in the background there. Cool. Let's now just do a quick 2 and 4, and then I'm going to change the kick to a different sound. All right, that was horrible timing. We're gonna fix that.
Tracks. Intro out track.
With the inspector.
Show tracks. Apple.
Not show the loop browser. There we go.
Take off. Quant off.
Alrighty.
1/8 note.
Let's do 8th note for that. Okay, cool. I'm actually gonna get rid of this guitar. It's not really working for me.
Track 4. Cool breeze chorus. Track.
Let's get rid of that.
Delete. Track 3. Kick.
We'll find something different later. Let's go into the quick sampler, and I'm going to change to a different kick sound.
Make off. View. Open button. Kick.
So you kind of figure the process by now, I'm sure.
Toolbar.
And I just go to the toolbar.
Let view. Check editor.
Show the editor.
Toolbar.
Going to scan the screen.
Finished. Classic 1.
And you'll see now.
Snap.
It tells you the file name. If I click on it.
Show. Clear. Load audio file. Clear history. Remove current file. Load.
I'm going to go to the load audio file.
Load audio.
And it keeps you in that same folder that you were in before. So all I have to do now is find a kick. Let's actually try this.
Search text field.
I'm going to search for kick.
Menu. Name matches. Kick.
I'll make it easier.
Kick. File name. Open. Options. Original. Path. List view. Table. 04 drum loop. Fat kick.
Here we go.
10 drum loop. Dirty kick. Double kick. Disco break. Driving kick. Break.caf.
So, whoops. We are in all of the files. We don't want that.
Forward. Lit. Chip. Searching. File name. Searching. This Mac. Where?
So let's see if I can change that.
Pump-POP bank.
Yeah, let's search in here.
Pump-open. Option. Original. Optimal. List view. Pump-pop acoustic.
Here we go.
Pump-pop acoustic guitars _F_170 BPM 170 BPM.
Right, let's see if it's
Pump-pop bass 05.
Okay, it looks like we actually lost our search results. So I'm just gonna go down and find it.
Pump-pop hi-hat 02. 1 set. Pump-pop hi-hat pattern of pump-pop hi-hat. Pump-pop hi-hat pat. Pump-pop kick 01.
Here we go.
170.
Let's add something funky. Kind of punchy. Let's see. I like let's see, I actually liked this one. Cool. There we go.
Kick. 1 bar.
Okay, that fits a lot better.
Kick.
I'm going to
Untype. Open.
add a compressor here and do very similar things to what I was doing with the snare.
Compressed. Stereo.
This time I'm going to play it so that I can actually hear what I'm doing.
Table. Compressor threshold. In table.
I forgot to loop the snare, so we'll do that in a little bit.
Compressor ratio. Ratio. Attack. 15.
All right.
Release. Gain. 0. Need. Peak / R. Auto. Output distort. Circuit. Output distort. Auto gain. In. Auto gain. Out of. Peak / R. In. Peak. Radio. Selected.
There we go. That's better. It's more punchy there. Let's
circuit. Side. Circuit. Studio FET.
change that.
Rage, lip, empties, auto release, unchecked, rage, two.
That's better. Definitely more punchy. Let's take the threshold down a little. Okay, cool. That's nice, but it's a bit loud now. So we'll turn it down.
Auto gain minus 5. Minus 10. Minus 8.
There we go.
Out of.
All right.
Close.
So let's now go and. Also, sorry for that beeping that keeps happening. I have my dictation key set to the control key, and whenever I press the control key, if I press it too quickly, it starts beeping. So that's a little annoying.
In track 3, kick.
I have to remember to use my
track 2
caps lock key for my voiceover key. Let me change this tracks to snare.
Ins 1. Select A, E.
And we'll
track loop on.
All right. Now if we listen, hopefully it sounds pretty good. Yeah. Only thing I'll do, let's turn the snare down a little bit.
Minus 1.
So that it kind of matches with the kick.
Minus.
Turn it down a little more.
1.
That's more like it. Maybe up just a touch. So yeah, hopefully you're starting to get the idea. Let's do a few more little things, just because I don't really want to leave this unfinished. I kind of like the idea now. Let's go into our loop browser, and we'll add a top loop, because we don't really have any hi-hats right now. So let me change this to all packs, and I'm just going to search for topper. And I hope I actually have some installed. I don't have a ton of these loops installed on this computer, but we might be able to find something.
Topper, name, 80s Mirage Topper, type real web loop.
Oh, here's one. Nice. This works.
What?
Let's just put it in.
What?
Nice, that sounds pretty nice. Let's turn it down a little.
Tracks. In track 4, almost reverse up. Minus 4. What?
Turn it down a little more. That's a bit too much. There we go. Nice. Cool. We kind of have a sort of, how would I even describe this? Like a indie disco metal type of thing going on. I like it. It sounds nice. All right. So the next thing I want to talk about is a concept that in a lot of GAWs is called busing. And essentially what this lets you do is assign tracks to one place, and then you can process them together. So this is really useful for drums, like what we've got here, because I can kind of make the drum kit sound like it's one cohesive thing rather than like 3 parts that we just layered together. So we're gonna do this in Logic. So I'm going to go to my kick track.
Track 4, almost revert. Track 2, snare. Track 1, track 3, kick.
Actually, I'm gonna go to my snare track.
Track 2, snare.
There we go. Now, this is very easy to do here. I'm gonna press Control, Option, Command, Return. And what that's gonna do is enable multi-selection. And that will just allow me to select multiple tracks at the same time. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Track 2, snare, group added to selection, 1 item selected.
All right, now keep holding the Control and Option and go to the right.
Track 3, kick, group.
I'm gonna do the
Track
same
header.
thing.
Track 3, kick, selected, group added to selection, 2 items selected.
And one more.
Track 4, almost, track 2, snare.
All right.
Track header, mute or solo
Cool.
track channel strip signal, arm the track for recording, and adjust volume or pan.
All right.
Control.
Cool. Now, they're all selected. I'm gonna press Command, Shift, and D, and that's going to make a track stack.
In dialog, folder stack.
All right.
Which tracks?
We have a folder stack. We don't want that. I'm gonna go to the right.
Summing stack, radio button.
I'm gonna press Control, Option, Space on that.
Selected.
And I'm gonna press Return. And
Table. Compressor.
there we go. Now it's opening up the compressor again. Let's close that.
Close.
And hey, look. I'm gonna go to the right.
Track 3, snare, group. Track 2, sum 1, group.
We have our stack here. And to close and open it, so that you can hide or show the tracks inside, I'm going to press Command Shift, and I believe the left arrow.
Track 3, snare.
Nope, that's not correct. What did that do?
Edit, undo, create track stack.
That did not do anything.
Track 3.
Okay, this is another way to do it. I'm going to go to the left.
Track 2, sum 1. In
Go
track
in
2,
here.
track stack disclosure arrow.
And there's a disclosure arrow at the very left of where you would have like the mute and solo. I'm just going to press that. And that's hiding all of it.
Out of track 2, sum.
Cool. I'm going to rename this drums.
So that's.
And to rename, by the way, I'm pressing Shift and Return, and that will rename the tracks. So now, when I solo this with S,
Toggle check 1.
we're just going to hear the drums. There we go. All right. I'm going to keep this playing. We're going to go to the effects, and I'm going to add a compressor here.
Out of inspect.
We're using a lot of compressors today. Actually, I'm going to stop it so that I can talk. We're going to go in here. Going to go in here.
Audio plug.
Going to add
Compressor.
my friend
Stereo.
the compressor. And
Stereo.
very similar to what we've been doing so far,
Table.
I'm going to go in and just compress this a little bit here. So I'm going to start out with,
ratio.
actually I'm just going to start out with nothing because I want to dial this in myself.
Attack.
I'm going to just set the attack
15,
times,
16,
properly spin to
23,
20,
gain,
have that be quite quick,
8 point, not 10 point, out, gain, need, peak slash auto, peak in,
have that be
peak,
peak.
select, output distortion, circuit type,
For the circuit, I'm going to choose
Classic
the
VCA.
classic VCA.
And
And make sure
auto release unchecked.
we don't want auto release. Cool.
Compressor
Now I'm just
0.
going to dial up the ratio. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I'm going to dial down the threshold
Minus 20 point.
to minus 30. And
And
let's turn that ratio up until we hear something happening. And let's see if we can tell. You might not be able to tell, but it's going to start kind of gluing all this stuff together here.
1.8 colon.
There, see, it's kind of pumping up a little bit. And it sounds more like one element now.
1, 2.
Here we go. That's more like it.
2.
You can kind of hear now the clap and snare are almost like fusing together. If we were to turn it up more, we can really exaggerate this. I have it up all the way now. That's probably too much, but that would be good for like an EDM type thing, but maybe not all the way like that. So let's have it be just a little bit. This is with nothing. And you might be able to tell that everything kind of seems a little bit disconnected. So let's just take it up. A little more. There we go, that's more like it. If we play it with everything else,
Toggle 1.
there we go. So everything's kind of glued together. All I'm going to do now, I'm going to add a little bit of distortion to this, actually. And to do that, I'm going to go to the right. You can do that with another plugin, but I'm going to use output distortion here. That kind of does some analog distortion modeling. I'm going to add a little bit, just to give it a little bit of drive. Cool. And I'm going to take this knee control.
0.7.
I'm going to take that to be pretty hard. There we go. Put it up all the way. There we go. Nice. So yeah, now it's very kind of glued together and it sounds great. Awesome. I'm actually going to do the same thing with that synth thing. Even though it's only one element, there is a lot of stuff going on in that one loop. So I figure it might be good to kind of get that to gel a little bit. So I'm going to actually copy the channel strip settings with Command, Option, and C. And I'm going to go to my synth, and I'm going to hit Command, Option, V. And that will put all of those same compressor settings and whatever other effects we've got onto that track. There we go. That's really loud, so let's turn that down. I'm actually going to go into the compressor and do it there.
Out of inspector.
If I can.
Mixer. View sampler group in off. Compress audio send compress audio open.
And actually, I think that undid our side chaining, so we'll redo that.
Synth chord tape range need 0.
Let's turn that gain down.
Minus.
There we go.
Out of Slide.
Cool.
Out. Compress ratio.
Maybe turn the ratio up just a little bit.
3.
Now, you might be able to tell that kind of brings out some of the sustain in those samples and doesn't make them sound so choppy. Let's now do the sidechaining again, but this time I'm going to actually do it after this compressor so that it has a better signal to work with. So for this, I'm not going to play it because we kind of already know how this works.
Internal. Input. Kick. Inst 3.
Here we are.
Inst
Got our kick track.
Table. Ratio.
Have that ratio up.
Gain. Attack.
Have that release quite low. Same with the attack.
Knee, peak, auto gain, peak, select out, auto knee, gain.
Turn our
output minus 12 off.
Auto gain off.
Auto
Turn
release,
off auto release and there we go. Maybe turn the compressor threshold down a bit.
Minus 40.
There we are. Now, I might just turn down those drums.
Track.
They're a bit loud. There we are.
Minus 4. Minus 5.
A bit more. There we are. All right.
Out of tracks.
Let's maybe try one more thing. Let's maybe use the quick sampler to do a little melody.
In dial.
I'm going to go back into the quick sampler again.
Track.
I'm going to do same deal, just like I did before.
Open button.
And what's really cool, I'm hoping you're starting to realize this, is with things like this, the quick sampler, or any other sampler really, you are kind of making sounds almost from scratch in a way, because you are not relying on presets that people have made for you. You're going in and you're designing something that is completely your own. Especially if you go in and actually record samples yourself and don't use them from a pack like what I'm doing here, you can really get a very unique sound that no one else has. And it's a little easier than going in and doing some sound design on a synth, although that's perfectly doable as well if you really wanted to go that route, because you're able to go in and say, hey, I like this sort of guitar thing maybe, or I like this piano, and I want to play it on the keyboard and make my own piano out of it and make something that maybe no one has ever heard before. And you can kind of go crazy with adding effects and doing all sorts of things to make the sound that you want.
Table, view,
so I'm going to go to my editor again, and let's just add a sort of a single note type thing. Let's see if I have anything like that.
Classic, low, select, no audio file loaded. No audio. Click load audio.
All right, let's go in here.
Load audio.
Let's see what we got. I don't think we'll have anything in this pop punk thing,
Open, dial,
but
pump
we could take a look.
Acoustic.
Have some guitars. Have some bass. Actually, this might work. Possibly. Let me see if I can find something that's just at one note, though. Okay, got a lot of, like, drums. Got some guitars. Okay, we have some hi-hats. We can go down a bit more. Okay, more drums. All right, more guitars. Okay, got some snares. All right. Got some synth stuff, tambourine. Okay, it doesn't look like we have any one-shots, but let's go to another pack.
List the Edward Court experiment. Pump up, reaper fold, slow, UK dash.
Might not have something in here, but we could see.
UK dash, slow vinyl wristband, lab fold, list the SVO.
Something here, I might have something. Okay, let's see. You got some synth stuff. All right, a lot of guitars, some saxophones. Let's see. This is the process, is finding stuff that works. Let's see, let's go back a bit. I might have something here. Okay. I don't know, this guitar might not work, but let's try it. I'm curious to see.
Ins 4. Open button. Measure.
Oh, doesn't seem to want to.
Open button. Toggle.
Oh, it was, there you go. No, that won't work.
Button.
This doesn't sound very good. Okay, so that's not really going to work, but
Track 6, ins 4.
What we'll do then is, let me delete this.
Delete track.
And I'll go into the library. And what I'll do is I will find a quick sampler patch. There we go.
Empty check. Default.
That will be able to work with here.
Track. Inspector. Library. Horizontal. Search. Library. Downloadable piano. Quick sample. Arpeggio. Keypad.
Let's do keys.
Patch category. Almost harpsichord.
Let's see.
Cavernous chords. Detuned chords. Distorted whirly. Driven keys. Driven synth lead. Driven keys. Driven synth. Metronome. Musical type.
I have to unsolo something here. Let's
Track set 2. Track 2. Drums. Toggle channel. Track 1. Synth chords. Solo group.
There we go.
Track 2. Track 6. Keys. Driven synth lead. Metronome off. Metronome off. Mute.
Cool, this works. All right, let's just do a little melody on top. All right, cool. We got a little thing going. I'll quantize it.
Drip table. Use quant. Smart quant.
Use smart quantize this time.
1/16. 60%. 65.
All right.
Blue pond. 1.
There we go. So here's a little track that we made here. Actually, here, you know what? Before I play it, let's arrange it a little bit.
Track.
So what I'll do, I'm gonna hide all these.
Out track.
Go to
track 1.
Our
track 2.
Drums, and because it's a track stack, I can just cut everything.
Cut.
And move it to where I want. So I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to put it at
9 bars.
bar 9.
Paste.
Cool. Now,
track 6. Driven synth.
Same thing with this lead.
Cut.
I'm going to cut it.
10 bar. 9.
Put it at bar 9.
Set paste.
And now we probably need something for the bar 5 here. So what I'll do actually, let's go back into our loop library.
Show 5.
And let's find
Topper.
see if I can find a guitar.
All pack. Mark
Back to that Mark Lydiard pack.
Let's
Let's see if I can find anything that will fit here.
Tempo. Type name. Always.
A lot of these are quite
Carried away.
funky. Yeah, this could probably work.
1. 5.
Gotta transpose it, so we'll do that.
Show.
All right,
Blue pond.
that works pretty well.
Track.
I'll quantize it so that it really matches with our
Track 7.
tight,
Track 6. Driven synth. Track 7. Cool breeze bridge chords.
with our tight synth here.
Solo record.
So I'm doing that by enabling flex,
Checked.
and I'm gonna go to my quantize settings here, just like I did with MIDI.
Track. Inspect and read table. Dimmed. Off. 1/16. 1/16. 4.
Let's add some swing. All right, so let's listen to what we got so far here.
Metronome off.
Here's what we did today. All right, so the mixing obviously needs much work, but this was just a quick demo of how you would go about using Quick Sampler with Logic. So there we go. Now, when I began this video, I said that I had some news about plugin accessibility, and I want to quickly touch on that now. So this quick sampler plugin is not the most accessible, shall we say, without some workarounds. However, there has been some very promising development as of late with a framework that a lot of plugins are based on called Juice. And Juice is a development tool that people use to develop third-party plugins that you would buy or get for free. And not everyone uses Juice, but it's a very popular framework. And recently, they've released a big update that finally enables Juice plugins and other applications that are written in Juice to be made accessible because it now natively supports screen readers. So this is really big because while it's not gaining too much traction just yet, hopefully within the next year or two, we will start to see a lot of plugins taking advantage of this. There already are a few. There's one called Piano Tech, which some people may have heard of. It's a modeling piece of software that lets you pretty much create a piano sort of from scratch in a way. You choose like a Steinway, and then you have all these options to customize the piano. You can change the tuning, you can change how hard the hammers are, you can do all sorts of things. And that's almost 100% accessible now because of this technology. And there are a few others that are coming on the way. So please keep an eye out for that. I will definitely have some videos soon when there are more plugins available, and we will go and demo some of these. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention, especially as I start doing some Reaper-based tutorials, because Reaper, unfortunately, does not come with any sounds whatsoever. So you have to provide your own sound library. That is the leg up that Logic has on pretty much almost every other DAW, is its sound content. But with that being said, part of why I wanted to make this video today was to prove that you don't necessarily need to use presets for everything. You can make your own stuff from scratch, and it sounds just as good. And while this isn't completely from scratch, we are using third-party samples that do not come with Logic that you have to go out and find. And this could be just as applicable with your own samples or anything like that. So I wanted to prove that point, that you do not need to use presets all the time. Presets are great, but what really makes you unique is when you go out and you find your own sounds, or you record your own sounds, or you find sounds that maybe people haven't used in a specific way before, like we did with those Pop Punk samples. I don't think the company who made them envisioned that we would be using them in this way. But we did, and it works, and it sounds great. So yeah, there you go. I will be back very soon with some more videos, and until then, I will see you guys later. Have a good day.